Good morning, everyone. So today we are going to be making a carrot zucchini cake using zucchini from our garden. So I'm going to talk about the ingredients you'll need, and then Miss Erin's going to tell you how to do it. So the first thing you need is granulated sugar. You need 1.5 cups. Ours are all pre-measured. You need 1 cup of vegetable oil. It's not specific about what type, so you could use canola. 3 eggs. 2 cups of flour, all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. You can add a little nutmeg if you want, not too much, a little cloves, anything that you would put in like a pumpkin pie or a spiced cake or cookie would taste good in this cake. And then 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then 3 cups of shredded carrots is what the recipe calls for, but we have 1 cup of shredded carrots and 2 cups of shredded zucchini. And then if you like to put walnuts in it, you can chop up walnuts and add 1 cup of those. All right, so now Miss Erin is going to tell us how to make it.
Okay, so first step is you want to go and preheat your oven to 350. We've already done that, so ours is already heating up. And then we're using a 9x13 pan. So we have our pan right here and we sprayed it. You can kind of see how it's shiny. And so our first step is we're going to beat the sugar, oil, and eggs together. So I'm going to pour my sugar in the bowl. And maybe Miss Liz can start cracking the eggs.
Sure.
I'm going to pour the oil. This is cracking those eggs for us. Make sure you don't get any shells in your cake. You don't want that crunch, unless it was the walnuts you're putting in.
That's very true.
So I'm going to mix. And I'm just using a wooden spoon, but the recipe says you can use a mixer. So if you have a stand mixer or if you have just a hand mixer, you can use that.
I'm going to whisk.
Yep.
And if you don't want your egg yolks to just follow the spoon around the bowl, you can just poke them and then they break up easier.
And it says you want to mix on, if you're using your blender, you do it for about 30 seconds or just until blended. So see if I can show that to you. There's my eggs and sugar all blended together. And then we're going to add, I guess, kind of our dry ingredients. So we're going to add our 2 cups of sugar in our bowl. This is a really easy recipe. And then we're going to add our cinnamon, so all your yummy spices that smell really good. Mm-hmm. And you are going to add your baking soda, which helps raise the cake up. And then we have our salt and our vanilla. And then you want to mix that all together. And if you're using a hand mixer or a stand mixer, you do it for about 1 minute. Might take me a little bit longer because I'm just using a wooden spoon. You want to mix that all together first before you add your zucchini.
It might look a little dry because that zucchini and carrot mixture will add a lot of moisture to your cake. So don't think you've done something wrong if it doesn't look the way you expect it to before you add that shredded veg.
I noticed when we practiced it the other day, I asked Miss Liz, I said, Miss Liz, it's really sticky, or, it just didn't. Thick, yep, it didn't seem like what the cake should look like. So yeah, we did practice. And we have already eaten a whole 9x13 cake.
Yes.
Not just the 2 of us. We shared.
We did.
But it was pretty yummy. I'm excited to get some more. is pretty thick. I'll show it to you guys. So, see, it's changed color now. It's a little bit darker brown. So, just trying to make sure I get all that cinnamon in there. Okay, so then we have our 3 cups of veggies. So we're actually using a carrot cake recipe. We're just giving it.
Substituting the carrot for zucchini for those other 2 cups because we have a lot of zucchini in the garden.
It can be fun to change up recipes, make them your own. So you don't need to mix it too much after you add the zucchini and carrots. You just want to incorporate them
as evenly as possible.
So there's that with our carrots and our zucchini in there.
I know we say this a lot. It's really pretty.
Yeah, it is really pretty. It's really pretty color. So then we have our 9x13 that we sprayed with our cooking spray. We're just gonna pour our cake mixture in. Get all of it out. Make sure it evenly spreads onto the pan. And then just take a spatula and just evenly spread it out.
If you don't want to do that, there's a little trick when you make a cake. You can carefully just shake it and then tap it just gently, and it makes it nice and even.
So once you're done with this, you're going to put it in your oven for 40 to 45 minutes. You could also, we're using a rectangular pan, but you could also use 2 circle pans instead. You could make a 2-layer cake. Yep, so we're going to put this in the oven and then we'll be back to show you how we made our frosting. So,
see you in a bit.
See you later. Hi everyone, we're back. Our cake is all baked, so I'll show you that. You can see it's a nice golden brown color. It took us about 45 to 50 minutes to cook. We just have our toaster oven here, so it usually takes a little bit longer to cook, but your ovens at home might take a shorter time. So you just want to test it with a knife or a toothpick so you can stick it in there, and if it comes out clean, then you know that your cake is done. So Miss Liz is going to talk to you now about the frosting we made for our cake.
Yep. So while your cake is cooling, you can whip up your frosting. Sometimes the cake will take longer than the frosting does because it's hot outside. You can also put your cake in the fridge after it cools mostly, right? If you want to. So the frosting is super simple. It's just cream cheese, butter, vanilla, a little bit of nutmeg, milk, and powdered sugar. So we will go ahead and link that recipe. You just add the ingredients and it comes out looking like this. You frost it once it's cooled and then you can slice it and enjoy.
Thank you everyone for joining us, and we hope to see you guys all soon. Bye.